Step 1.
Oh, barf.
Think positively. Step 2. Grab your favorite crystal.
And put it up your butt.
Totally. And then chant affirmations and your new love fucking person will start being magnetized to you.
Yeah. You
right
don't
now.
have to do anything.
Don't
you get
do
to be a
anything.
passive princess.
We're back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. No one's letting you forget in the club. That is for fucking sure.
Are you in lots and lots of pain? How bad is the pain?
Fuck you fucking asshat. Having fun dancing in the floor.
Number 1, why am I falling? Number 2, you ruined everything.
Oh, it's so good. Just gunslaying today.
Last off, we really need to take some video.
Yeah, I hope the AI catches that. It's the photo for today. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the podcast. We're stoked to be here today. We've had a really interesting month, and there's been a lot that we've been navigating. But the good news is that we've managed to maintain our heads above water, and we also have a really great event coming up next week. And all the stuff that we've been traversing this month has really been preparing us to facilitate this event called Magnet for Love. And so we've been getting a crash course in the back end of our lives, an opportunity to clean up anything that's in the way of our own magnets. And we wanted to get into a conversation today about some of the three main pillars that we see that really block someone's magnetism. And then we're going to expand on that in the event and how to actually transform that. We're going to tell you what it is today, but we're going to show you how to do that in the event next week. So go to the show notes and just sign up right now. Don't wait till the podcast is over. Just go sign up right now and keep listening as you're signing up. It's free to join, and it's going to be a fucking blast. If you were at our last one, you're in for a treat. And if you weren't, you're in for a treat.
Pause the podcast right now. I'm not even joking. We're just going to wait for you.
Do it. Just fucking do it.
And here's the deal. Our free events are not boring, traditional, get on, it's like a robot, or there's us in a teeny tiny little box with a bunch of slides being okay, step 1.
Oh, barf.
Think positively. Step 2. Grab your favorite crystal.
And put it up your butt.
Totally. And then chant affirmations and your new love fucking person will start being magnetized to you.
Yeah. You
right
don't
now.
have to do anything.
Don't
you get
do
to be a
anything.
passive princess.
No, we're giving you, we're going down to the roots. I mean, even in our free workshops, we tend to over deliver because that's who we are. And we also just want to give you an insight on what it's like to be in our energy and our field. A lot of people reach out from the podcast and just ask us, about the club and what it is and what the fuck is this thing. And every so often, a couple times a year, we host these free events. It's a really good opportunity for you to get in our energy and our field, because we are quite polarizing. You're either going to fucking love us, or you might be abso-fucking-lutely not.
I hate these bitches.
These bitches are so annoying. So either way, it's not on us. It has nothing to do with us. We're just going to keep doing us. But if you want us, it's a really fun time. And our 4 pillars in the club are love, sex, money, and power. And this is where we're stepping into our pillar of love. And this is not just cheesy, fucking 5 dating tips. This is how to become a motherfucking magnet. And that comes through completely reprogramming your nervous system to your deepest level. Because again, people are how do I choose different partners? And I'm well, you don't actually choose. Your subconscious and your protective patterns, your conditioning, your survival, your neuroception is actually the one doing the picking for you based on what you experienced growing up. So this is what we're going to dive into in the 3-day event. We're going to be coaching you. We're going to be teaching you things from our root levels, because we don't really care if you have those little, we want you to have wins. That's great. But at the end of the day, if you have a little win and then you revert back to your old patterns, like, we're not satisfied. We want to help you reprogram from the inside out. And that starts all the way down to like the nitty gritty in the nervous system, and how to become a really strong magnet for love, self-love, how to, what that even is. It's not just bubble baths and fucking getting your toenails painted. This is like, you know what I mean? Advocating for self, having boundaries, understanding, reparenting your little parts. Like, there's so many pieces to this that make you extremely magnetic. So that you walk into a room and people are like, who the fuck is that bitch? I need to be in her energy immediately. That's what we want for you. And we all have that potential within inside of us. We just have blocked this power. We've blocked this magnetism. And so we want to help you unblock that through our very simple method that we have. And that is, yielded extreme success. And we can't wait to show you that even in our free event, because why the fuck not?
Yeah. We're actually committed to your excellence. And we say this a lot in the club, like, we will never co-sign your bullshit or your mediocrity, because we are committed to your excellence and your greatness and you being the most expanded version of yourself out in the world. And whether that's in your relationships, whether that's your relationship to self, whether that's your relationship to money and your career, your life in general, we want to see you win. And we will literally do everything in our fucking power to back you. But you have to back yourself first. Like, we can only do so much if you aren't willing to get on the field. And to be honest, that's kind of where most people play. We've done many podcasts about, being on the field in the game versus in the stands. And like, anyone who's listened to this podcast for more than one episode, guaranteed you are on the field of your life. And we love that for you, and we want you to thrive in every way, shape, and form. And personally, like, love is one of those forces that when it is present, whether you have it in a romantic capacity or you have it platonically or in your family, but like, you have the thread of true love flowing, there's literally nothing that you can't do when you're in relationship with that frequency. It literally opens up a portal of possibility that is unlike anything else. And you're able to access ideas, solutions, pathways through your life where, like, the doors just open. I know, coming from a songwriting background, people like have this perception of like what it takes to make it as a songwriter. And they have like all of these like steps that they have to take, and like, it's going to take forever and it's going to be a slog, and they have this whole fucking story. But when you're tapped into that frequency of love and you cultivate it in your life, you get to bypass all of that bullshit. And you have people who just drop in one day and they're like, hey, I read your tweet over here and I really liked what you're up to, and like, that really resonated with me. And I also see that you're a songwriter. I'm a songwriter. Do you want to co-write sometime? And then it turns out that they're a fucking big deal. And then you get a fucking contract and your music's on Netflix. Like, it doesn't have to be so hard and sloggy, but it will always be hard and sloggy if we do not have this connection to true love tapped in. And we want to show you how to do that in our 3-day event. And then for those of you who want to really continue on that path and foster that and anchor those roots in, well, then you come into the club, because that's where we do that work. But we're going to give you the blueprint. It's not one of those events where we're going to dangle the carrot and never give it to you. Like, that's fucking lame. Like, I mean, it's kinky as fuck, but like, it's not the game that we're playing. Because again, we're committed to you winning. Like, when there are more people who are happy and thriving and winning in their life, the entire world benefits. And so we really want to see those types of monumental transformational changes in the world in our lifetime. And the only thing that has ever made any sense to me is getting people back into their hearts and getting them back into right relationship with love. Because when you love yourself, you really honestly can't go and hurt another person. But you can definitely hurt another person if you're disconnected from yourself. If you are in your shadow, if you're in your wounds, like, you can 100% hurt someone else. But when you're really in right relationship with you and your heart is open and love is flowing through you, that's the last thing you want to do, is to hurt someone. And you will act in ways that are congruent with your intention, to be good to people, to be a positive, expanded impact in people's lives. And so we just want more people who are on that track, and we get to like play and do cool shit together and like cheer and champion each other. And that's really what we're building inside of Club Unhinged, is like an army of badass bitches who are up to really cool fucking shit in the world. And they're playing this game of like, we want to fuck around and find out how good it can fucking get. That is what the club is all about. And if that is your jam, if you're like, I was made for more, and I can feel that expansion of love that wants to kind of take me on the ride, then you really got to be at the event. No excuses. Just get there.
TED Talk completed.
Yes. First one of the day. Don't worry, there will be more.
There'll be so many more. Yeah. And I think the cool thing is that I feel like I'm going to kind of speak for you on this, but
okay.
Kelsey and I were not the magnets for love.
What do you mean?
And I think this is why we can have so much fun and teach this, because again, Kelsey and I are not into like reading a bunch of like self-help books and then like spitting back a bunch of like cognitive jargon at you, being like, this is what you do, and which is a lot like what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Right? It would be like gardening and learning about gardening and like going, like learning all about the soil. It's like a very cognitive thing, and there's a lot of information on the internet. I mean, you can get information anywhere. It's the age of information. But the question is, why are people have so much information and they're more confused and less, like they're so overwhelmed that it's so hard to take action. And so
they're still a mess.
Exactly. So if an Instagram post was enough for your transformation, you would have transformed by now. So if you're not living the life that you want, or the love life, or you don't have that in your life, you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. There's no problem. It's just understanding why you might be blocking it or pushing it away subconsciously. Subconsciously means you're not aware of it. It's underneath, happening behind the scenes without your awareness. And so this is where we help highlight that and get with the lens of curiosity, fun, and playfulness. And we can only do that because Kelsey and I are not reading from a textbook. We have gone through the fucking ringer with love, with loss, with codependency, with people pleasing, with being sort of shells of ourselves, being cheated on, having betrayal wounds, like any type of essentially relational trauma we could have, we've both been through. Mm-hmm. And we have both had to pick ourselves out of the fucking gutter and be like, our shadow selves, like, I'll never love again. I will be in the darkness.
Never.
With my kitty cat, with my cats, and my cotton ginny sweater, and I'm not getting out.
I'm resigning myself to mediocrity and just being miserable.
And they're the reason why. And again, like, I can only laugh about it now because I have walked through that grief portal. I've walked through the sadness portal. I've walked through the anger. And, I think we are really good teachers for this and can play and have a lot of fun with you and can really normalize your experience. And I think that that's something we do really well through our stories as well. We have no problem sharing, the dumpster fires that we've walked through, and even the refinement period. There's like the initial deep work and inner child reparenting and so many pieces of the puzzle, and working with the nervous system to upgrade your neuroception and essentially your picker for your partners, what's normalized within your system. We're helping you upgrade that. We're also helping you refine it. So I think the cool thing is, no matter where you are in your love journey, even if you're with somebody and you found somebody who's actually a really healthy person for you, we can help you refine and go deeper into that relationship as well. You could be divorced. You can be in the process of, in a relationship but not super satisfied. You can be single. You can be like whatever your status is right now. We can help you just, again, crank the love, the magnetism, all those pieces with that. Essentially, cranking the love and magnetism is also raising your vibration. So if you're a manifestation nerd like I am, that's also elevating your vibration, and it means you're a magnet for more money, more opportunities, more success, things like that as well. So this work is very cross-referral. In fact, in the club, we were just teaching our money segment, and we said to them, a lot of the ladies, we wouldn't be surprised if it's actually in the love quarter where all of a sudden you start making a fuck ton more money, because like it's all related, right? It's all the same fucking
connected.
thing, connected to worthiness, connected to whether you're insecure or not, like all these pieces, how anchored you are in yourself. And so again, we're here about creating success in the whole human, the whole woman, so that you're not just fragmented. You're really successful, but you have no love life, or you have a great love life, but you have no money, or you have a great relationship, but you're not having sex. So all these pieces, so love, sex, money, and power, I think are the pieces, you know, as you and I have found, that are the pieces. When you master that, those areas, and you feel really upgraded and confident, I mean, you're fucking unstoppable in your life. You become like a walking fucking portal of magic on legs, and just like zipping around the universe being like, what do I want to create today? This is fun. And you're just in a much higher state. So anyways, I'm just, all that to say is I'm fucking pumped. I'm fucking jazzercised. Sign up. If you haven't signed up by now,
Come on. What?
fuck is, what is happening? Like, again, we just are committed to your evolution, and this is the year of doing shit differently. This is the year, 9 year, it's a year of closing out old fucking patterns and old shit. And I mean, that like cheesy saying, like, if nothing changes, nothing changes, but it's actually legit. Like, if you keep reading Instagram posts and, you know, sending fucking funny memes to your friend, like, that's great, you know, or joking around like, oh, look at this, like, haha, my guy's laughing at my love life, you know, and you're like, okay, that's funny, but like, what are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
100%.
you have to upgrade the system. You have to upgrade, you know, and yeah, and that's what we specialize in. So let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. And like one of the biggest things is that relationship to honesty. So like that the first step is like self-honesty. Can you do an honest inventory, be radically honest with yourself? Because you and I both have been victimized by really shitty people and behaviors in relationship, and also we have been the shitty ones. Like, I wrote a poem last week, and in one of the sections it was like calling out like this person for being like a monster, and like the reflection of being in the presence of someone who has a very pure heart is really threatening to someone who's like in those like very dark wounded patterns. And someone commented like, I don't understand like how you're able to know that. Like, how do you know that that's the feeling or the experience that happens for someone who's in that? I'm like, well, because I've been both the monster and the pure heart. That's how. Different chapters, different stories. But like, I'm not sitting here on my high horse or like collapsed in a victim position being like, all these bad people have happened to me and wah, wah, wah. Like, until you're able to see how you've also been the monster and you've been the victim, like, and they won't have happened at the same time. A lot of the time there'll be different chapters of your story. And like, I started off as a villain. Like, that was my go-to. Well, maybe it wasn't my initial go-to, because I did get really hurt, and becoming the villain was a response to feeling victimized. So like there is that element, but like I did a good shift as a villain. And so now it's easy for me to spot it because I've got it. And when we like go around pointing the fingers and being like, they're all bad, we fail to connect into the parts of us that have also been manipulative, that have also been dishonest, that have also been really shady and shitty to people. And when you can be honest about that and take it out of the shadow and, you know, bring it out, and you and I do such a good job of this, of just being like, yep, I was a total dickhead. Like, Cuntosaurus Rex on steroids. You know?
Feed me.
Feed me. And like, the thing about me and my manipulation is that I'm so covert with it. Like, it's so subtle that sometimes I don't even catch it right away. And then I can like keep going along this path of being like, see how good I am? Like, I'm such a good person. And then I'm like, oh, fucking hell. I was actually like subtly trying to manipulate that person. It still happens. Not very often, but it still happens. And so I have to be able to catch that and clean it up. The second I notice it, the second I become conscious of it and tell the truth on myself and go into that relational dynamic where I have been manipulating or trying to like force a result and clean it up and risk the fallout of that. See, like if you're never willing to take any risks, you are never going to have epic love. You're never going to have an epic life. Like epic love requires risk. And sometimes those risks are telling the truth on yourself about the places that you've been out of integrity, the places where you have not been showing up powerfully, the places where you've been manipulative or controlling or just completely unrelational. And in outing that material, yes, you run the risk of their emotional reaction. You run the risk of them saying, fuck this, I don't want to do it. But you also gain back your power and your magnetism. And you never really lose by telling the truth. You may lose a certain relationship. There might be too big of a consequence there, which is, I think, why people don't tell the truth. They're afraid of losing what little they have. And they're like, well, if I just like keep lying, then I can at least keep this in its like mediocrity. Not realizing that it's actually draining their life force energy in a pretty major way. And if they were courageous enough to tell the truth and get it out all on the table and be like, yep, I like all these things that I've gaslit you about, you were right. I did do that. And I did this too. And it's really shitty. It's hard to admit. And I understand if it's no longer a yes for you to continue with me, but I need to clear the slate here and give you an opportunity to powerfully consent in the relationship. No one can consent in a relationship if they don't know the full truth. And if you're not giving the full truth, you're manipulating their ability to truly be there out of their own free will. And that isn't love. And so it will limit where you can go in that relationship. It'll also limit where you can go in life. This is why clear agreements are so fucking important, and I will hammer on them until the day I fucking die. But like, to be able to tell the truth like that and be honest, like you got to be in right relationship with reality. Like you can't be living in Never Never Land. You got to be able to anchor in reality and take inventory of yourself and be like, ooh, yeah, this is ugly. Don't love this about me. But can I hold myself with a compassionate lens as well of like a lot of our shadowy shit that we might have to clean up. Like a lot of that comes from our needs not being met and us developing adaptive strategies that are just dysfunctional. And if you had a really healthy environment to grow up in and explore in, and you'd been modeled how to do this properly, there's a very, very slim chance that you would have developed those adaptive strategies that are wreaking hell on your life and your relationships. So it doesn't make you a bad person. Like when I say that I've been the monster and I've also been the pure soul, like neither of them hold more weight than the other. Like they're both kind of neutral in my system. And that's because I understand the times when I was being a monster or the times that I will be a monster. It's because a part of me feels really threatened, is really scared, and I'm collapsing into an adaptive strategy. That's how the brain works. It's looking for the quickest pathway out. And your adaptive strategies were designed to keep you alive and like surviving your circumstances. But it doesn't mean that they're going to set you up to win. And so like this is where you kind of sort through the people who are actually going to step on the path of creating not only extraordinary love, but creating an extraordinary life versus the ones who are just never going to step into that work because it's too confronting and it requires too much change to their inner world. And who knows, like maybe that actually would totally psychologically break them to do given what they've experienced. I don't know. But if you are in the camp of like, I want an extraordinary life, I want extraordinary love, well, then we got to go the path of honesty and transparency and being in right relationship with reality. There's no other way around it. Sorry to say.
Whenever I hear that, I think of like the going on a bear hunt. My kids like love that song. It's like, can't go around it.
Yeah.
Can't go over it. It's like,
Yeah.
you have to go through it.
Gotta
You're
go
like,
through it.
yeah, fuck. Personal responsibility work was probably some of the hardest work I've ever done in my life.
Oh, hundo P.
Because it just fucking killed the shadowy part of me who was like, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm the good, you're the bad. Right? Love that. Pick partners who are super chaotic. Then I get to have a temporary hit of power. I get to shame them. And then I get to be in control for a little bit because I felt so out of control in my life. And so it was like such a fun thing, choosing partners who are like, you know, again, super chaotic. And the more I've learned about the nervous system and all these pieces as well, it makes so much sense and from a scientific perspective. But we'll go into that on the event and in the club. But the initial idea of having to take responsibility for why I got into that relationship. And again, it doesn't negate the things that they did while in there, but it does, I did subconsciously choose that relationship and continue to stay in the relationship, which caused more harm.
Yes.
Right? So it's like, again, like somebody can't force, you know what I mean? Like it's one of these things, like I was in a relationship where I stayed. Right? And I remember them saying, well, it's like, well, you stayed. And I remember being so fucking pissed. I was like, fuck you.
I hate you.
I didn't want to stay here. But it was like, again, like I had to like sit with that and be like, fuck, right? And get really curious around that and go down that journey of understanding why I picked partners who were addicts, right? Why I picked partners who were very chaotic, why I picked partners who couldn't meet me, why I picked partners who never chose me fully, why I picked partners who would traditionally cheat. It kept reconfirming my addiction to believing my unworthiness, right? And my, you know, that I was broken or undesirable or whatever it was, and the way I saw myself growing up. So it was like a perfect match. And so I think getting really clean and doing that work, you know, that shadow work and going into those pieces was really fascinating, and learning more about them. And then I remember, again, like having to exercise, because it's one thing to know it and to regurgitate it. It was one thing to actually do it.
In
so I remember
real time.
like real time. And I remember thinking like, fuck. And there was this opportunity where I was in an argument and my ex and I were kind of in the process of, we'd broken up but hadn't fully, you know, separated at the time. And we were going back and forth. And I remember he just said something to fucking like piss me right off. And I just lost it. And I said like, you know, I was just in my hurt. I was spewing back things just to like hurt him.
Right. Yeah.
And then I remember afterwards I hung up and I was like so fucking heated. My brain was like, fuck him, fuck this shit. I can't believe he fucking would say that. Blah, 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 like, like the fucking pit bull with a bone, like not letting this one fucking go. And then I remember this like voice being like, okay, personal responsibility. Who do you want to be? Like, it's fair that you're angry. This is all valid, like validating my experience. And then once I'd calm myself down a bit, being like, okay, who do I want to be though? Like, is that the way I just acted in integrity? Like, I could easily just fucking tie that up in a little box and put it away and be like, see, I'm so good and I'm, you know, I want to help people, like all these things. But I'm like, that's not in integrity coaching either. If I'm, you know, saying one thing and, you know, and helping my clients with one thing and then behind the scenes doing the fucking opposite.
To me in Snapshot Sally.
Fucking Snapshot Sally. That's not a vibe. And that's
No.
also got a frequency itself, right? That's only going to take me so far. So I was like, okay, you know, there's nobody watching right now.
Yes.
But what am I going to do? Nobody knows about this. I can hide this, or I can fucking, you know, who do I want to become? And what, you know, and so I was like, I called him back up and I said, hey, I want to apologize. I said, you know, I'm sorry the way I just acted. It's not in alignment with who I want to be.
Yeah.
I got really upset. There's some things that really triggered me, and you know, I'm sorry I shouldn't have reacted that way, and I'm going to work on trying to communicate in a healthier way, or ask for breaks, or let you know where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I thought his head was going to pop off because I had never done that,
Yeah.
right? I had never come back and tried to repair, or just to sit, not even with the intention of repair, just more. And it wasn't coming from a place where I would have in the past around like, oh my God, I need this person to be okay so I can be okay. It wasn't coming from the lens of codependency or like, I need this to change and I'm too uncomfortable thinking that you're upset. And so, which it would have come from in the past. It was purely just like, I want to be in integrity with the woman I'm becoming.
Yes.
This is what she would do. And so I picked, again, like it just created this whole thing where the level of power I felt. Because then I realized it's the same thing with my kids now. Like, I'm not a perfect parent. I fuck up. I get, I've got 2 spicy fucking hot tamale daughters. Like, they are on fire. And like, there's times I snapshot. I've got so much stress, and there's only so many times. I want more Shreddies. I need more Cheerios. Mom. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to watch YouTube. Bam. I'm like, fuck
YouTube.
Goddamn
Mom, I hate you.
Totally, you're the worst. I'm like, so there's times I hit my threshold, and I might yell, but through the process of that first action I took and deciding who I wanted to become, it gives me the grace to fuck up and to give myself the compassion that I pray for. It gives me like, you know what? I go back to my girls. It's not about shit not happening. For you, if you're listening as well, it's about how quickly can you repair? How quickly can you go back and say, you know what? That wasn't, I go back to my girls and like, hey, do you have a second? Can we talk? Yes. Okay. You know what? The way I just acted, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. Mommy got angry, X, Y, Z. And how sometimes you get angry. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sometimes we're going to get this, and I'm sorry. And I'm going to try better next time. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is that I think in the past I would have gone to the person, or there would have been this extra hook. So it would be very unconscious, but it'd be like, I'm going to apologize.
So apologize.
Here's what I just said. And then it's almost like a ... And it's like, waiting.
Hello,
your turn. And again, that was another thing I had to come into contact with. I'd be like, am I okay to apologize? Even if they don't.
Right.
Yes, I am. Because again, do I want to drop down, or do I want to like raise myself up? Right. And what am I choosing here? And so again, I was like, no, even if they don't apologize, this is actually about me. And again, it started creating this frequency because I had more self-trust. I had more permission to walk through the world and to fuck up and make mistakes because I'm human, and then come back and repair if I need to. It gives me more ability to sit with somebody and listen to them, or to give grace if somebody doesn't text me back, or whatever the fucking thing is, because I'm like, I know what that's like to be on the other side of that. Just like you said, it's to be, you know what it's like to be on both sides of that. And when you can see it and like neutralize it, you become really, really powerful and very magnetic. And again, I think we see a lot of relationships where the women have turned into the mother, and they're parenting and this is a podcast, I think maybe our next podcast episode.
Stop gentle parenting your dude.
Totally. Stop pacifying your fucking titty in your husband's mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, like in a way they don't want it. Like, stop fucking doing their laundry.
In the bedroom, it's fun.
Sure. But like
breastfeeding your partner, not a vibe.
Well, I know the title for our next podcast. But like, you know what I mean? We don't realize sometimes how much we keep our partners in the playpen.
Sure.
Right? We co-sign their fucking little, you know what I mean? And we love it. We love it. I love it. There's a part of me who's like, yes, fuck up so I can be right. Yes, fuck up so I can have a bit of power. And so, I think,
well, I mean, look at my last relationship. Like, that's literally how it started, where he was like kind of lost and like didn't know the direction that he wanted to go in his life. And he was like, you know so much. And I'm like, oh, my ego loves this. Tell me more. And and so like it started like this kind of like spiritual advisor, but like what it did was it created this massive imbalance between the two of us, where he was looking to me to be a surrogate mother to him. And luckily, like, he has a good sense of humor. He is quite self-aware. Sure. And we were able to have that discussion. We actually did a podcast about this. And like, I really got to give it to him for being able to get in the ring with me and out that, like, not only just to me, but like, he was willing to out that to a fucking massive community. And like, that takes something to be able to do, but like, we couldn't break that spell of like mother-son dynamic. Like, there was just not enough chemistry in other ways to kind of transform that. And the reason why I selected that, like, it would be very easy for me to go in and like criticize him and be like, he's got work to do, which that would have been true.
Sure.
But I also had work to do because I was attracted to that. And I was attracted to it because if I choose someone who is needing to be mothered, I never have to sit in the vulnerability of being truly met. Which means I always get to have the upper hand. Because if you think of a parent and child, the parent always wins because they're the parent, they're the authority. And so I was choosing a dynamic because my relationship before that, I felt such a loss of power that I swung to the other extreme, where not only I had a lot of false power, it wasn't true power, but it was the sense or perception of power, and I could also avoid vulnerability. I could also avoid intimacy. And so, like, outing that, yeah, I'm just gonna raise my hand here. That was ugly. It was really ugly, and having to be in relationship with those parts over the last 5 years, and over the last year and a half, there's been another relationship that's come into my life, and I've really had to keep a pulse on that. And when he came in, I was like, oh, I actually see this guy as totally competent and capable, and I don't even have that compulsion to mother him or coach him. And like, I can actually like lean back and let him go at his own pace and do what he needs to do. Because it's not my job and it's not my responsibility to hold his hand and like help him get through these things. Like, I can be there and I can, springboard ideas and like have conversations, but it's very different when the intention is I see you as incompetent and incapable, which is what happens in this mother-son dynamic. And I need to like swoop in and save the day because you basically just don't know how to do it yourself. Like, it's so gross when you really distill it down. And it is the furthest thing from love. Like, it's not a cool thing to be doing. And it happens in so many relationships. And I think it happens at least on the women's side because we have been hurt. And if we don't alchemize the pain that we've gone through, and we don't reparent the parts that need reparenting, if we aren't able to be truthful and out the places where we feel vulnerable and we feel scared, then we are going to swing to the extreme and choose a safe partner, whether that's someone that you can mother or someone who just has the personality of a fucking gray rock, and like, it's not going to go anywhere because they're so fucking boring. And they're not a bad person, but they got nothing going on. And so you're not going to feel alive and vital in that relationship either. So it's like the safe choice instead of like the person who can hold space for your greatness and understand these wounded, tender parts, but also call you to be the most expanded version of yourself. They're not going to settle for your bullshit. They're not going to tolerate it. They're not going to continue entertaining it if you're not willing to get in the ring as well. So like, it's just really, really important when you see those dynamics, because especially on the internet, like, these righteous positions get going, and then you get like a swarm of people who will back you and be like, yeah, you're the best and he's the worst. And that's not helpful, because they're actually preventing you from seeing the truth. Like, it's literally like this field of delusion, and then you just deny reality, and then you stay stuck, which isn't cute, and it's not going to get you the love that you want, and it's not going to get you the love worth having either.
No. And this is exactly why we're doing this event and working with you inside the club if you choose to step in and actually want to learn how to embody and have the processes to embody this, is because, again, like, it's unless we do work around this, and I think the cool thing is you and I have found like the fastest methods and like the root causes of these things, so we can help you transform really quickly. But unless you actually make changes and do that internal work, it is guaranteed you are going to continue to find the same you know what I mean? It's like similar person, similar personality. It's like flavorings of it, and it's just might be like different penis, different face. It's the same fucking person though, right? Because again, it's the parts of you who know the familiar. It's familiar, right? If you grew up with a lot of chaos, if you grew up with abuse, if you grew up with, you know, neglect, like your system is literally scanning through neuroception and collecting data points and attracting. This is where the whole like attracts like, and, you know, manifesting. And most people, I mean, listen guys, we manifest all day every day. The thing is, we are manifesting the fucking dumpster fire relationship. We're trying to heal the past. We're trying to we're basically attracting dad or mom or whoever the authority figure is that we haven't reconciled, right? And so, you know, the universe is net positive. It's trying to help us heal, and it's also picking our partners. So we want to help you shift who you are inside of your relationships, shift who you are if you're reinventing yourself after divorce, which, you know, I had to go through that process, that portal as well. Shifting yourself if you're within a dynamic right now and you want to spice it up and you're like, fuck, I'm just like, this is not the vibe. Like, we're helping you in all of these areas become the woman you are really fucking proud of, like to become the one who is confident and in her power, so that no matter what happens, because at the end of the day, everything is fleeting. The relationship even you're in, even if it feels secure, like it could be gone. And it's not to scare you, but you know, I think that the way that I'm in and what I found is that, like, I have this mantra, and I shared this on the Daily Coaching Club the other day, and it was like, this is the most important mantra I have. It's like this or something better. And I truly believe that it's like, it's this relationship or something better. And it could be this job or something better. It could be whatever it is, this or something better. And I actually believe it now, not because of some mystical outside force, but because I'm the woman who has built confidence where I had done. You know, I've built a really secure, beautiful relationship when I've had dumpster fire ones in the past. Like, I feel like we don't want to give you some bullshit advice and just have a little bit of a better thing. It's like, you want to become the woman who believes in her heart and soul that this is what you're worthy of. And if it isn't what you're in right now, or if it's not your dating scene or whatever it is, it's like, let it become that, where you're like, again, you walk into a room and people turn their heads and it's like, who the fuck is that? It's not even about the way you look. It's about your energy, right? It's the energetic signature that we are giving off all day, every day. It's that like confidence, it's that knowing yourself, and confidence comes from knowing yourself. It comes from truth telling on yourself. It comes from being able to have ease within it and handle emotions and all these pieces. And we want that for you. And I just actually watched a clip, funny enough, maybe about an hour before we got on, and it was advice from this, like, I don't know, one of the top billionaires, and he's like 87 or something, and he said, he's being interviewed on a podcast, big podcast, and he said, like, what's the one secret to your success? And he was like, my relationship, my marriage. And the guy's like, what? And he's like, yeah, and it was like this shocking thing, and he goes, it is hands down, like, being in the right relationship is the most impactful thing. He said it's like, they've measured it as like 4 times more than business or the career you're in or whatever it is, because it's like, that's the person you're spending a lot of time with. That's the person, you know, who's going to be your greatest cheerleader or advocate, or your, like, you know what I mean, that like partner that you have to bounce things off of, to cheer you on, to offer all these pieces. And so it's a big part of our lives, who we choose to spend our time with, right? Like their energy, their frequency, who we are, the way we show up in it. And again, I think a lot of people get frustrated in relationship and they feel like, you know, I just can't do this anymore. And we just want to help show you, like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing broken. It's just that, again, your protective patterns or survival strategies, your neuroception, what's familiar is doing the picking. And so we want to help you upgrade that picker so that you're feeling really excited and you're in a really healthy, securely attached relationship. And that comes from finding that secure, that internal safety yourself. And that's what we essentially help you do.
100%. And, you know, a big part of this too, with like choosing the right partner, is also choosing the right form of relationship for you. So there's like this very conventional track of relationships, and then you have like the super unconventional track, and most people are somewhere in the middle. And when we have these very rigid paradigms about love and relationships, they don't always fit the full size of our human, and that can be a really challenging thing. So like, if we're constructing the relationship in a way that is not totally true for us, it is also going to minimize your happiness and your fulfillment. And like the best example is like when you're going on a date and they ask you, what are you looking for? And if you say, you know, oh, I'm just like nothing serious, or like, let's just be chill, or like go with the flow. But actually, you really want to be like 2 feet in, all in, building your dream relationship with your person. And like you want to do like life together till the end and have like his and hers towels and like whatever the fuck you want to do.
Matching tracksuits.
Matching tracksuits, yeah. You know, the ugly Christmas sweaters and the
Totally.
holidays, like whatever it is. But like if you're not being honest about the form of relationship that
Sure.
you're looking for, and if you also don't give yourself permission to think outside of the traditional box, because there are a lot of elements of unconventional relationships that can really be supportive to even a more traditional relationship. And one of those things is truth telling. You know, there's a lot of like in more polyamorous containers, there's a lot of truth telling. There's a lot of communication. There's a lot of very pristine, clear agreements versus like the traditional track where these like very rigid rules in a relationship. And anyone who gets put in a container where there's rigid rules, there's always going to be a part that fights against that. Versus like, how about we consciously create and like co-create this relationship? We get to literally make it up however we want. And then you have the ability to continue to recreate the relationship as it goes and as it grows. Like, to me, that's the only way to kind of get to a sustainable place in a relationship, but also get to that end game like the billionaire was talking about. Like, he's probably had to meet his wife over and over and over and over again and get to know all these different versions of her, and she's had to do the same with him, and they've had to like move with the different seasons of their relationship and create anew and create again. It's not about like this fantasy where you find the right person and then everything is smooth fucking sailing. Like it's going to take work. Like the work actually begins once you get into the relationship. Like getting into the relationship is actually the easy part. Like where the rubber hits the road is after. And like in like this familiar traditional model, like it's flipped. It's like getting into the relationship is the hardest part, and then once you're in it, it should just work. We should just be able to coast, like set it and forget it, like an easy bake oven. Like, I'm sorry, but like nothing good comes out of an easy bake oven, friends. Like, it's novelty for about 5 seconds, and then you realize you're getting major stomach aches and probably stomach cancer from all the chemicals you're eating.
Damn, that got dark fast.
But it's true. And like,
Sure.
if you approach your relationship like that, of like, well, I shouldn't have to ever do a check-in. We shouldn't ever have to like reimagine our relationship or reimagine our agreements or like take the temperature with each other. It is going to turn into this somewhat cancerous energy that eats you both alive. And like, you don't get to actually like expand and grow in possibility when you set it on default. So being able to be responsible for the style of relationship you want and being accountable and responsible for creating the vision that you have for love, because it's not a passive pursuit. It's a very intentional pursuit. And if you want that and then you come across someone who is very unintentional and doesn't want to play that game, then it's a non-starter. Like, you can't force someone to play a game that they don't want to play, or that they're not equipped to play. I don't know which it is. But you got to go with the players who understand the game that you're playing and they want to get in the mix with you. And they, like, every relationship to me is like its own unique game. And so you got to create the rules of engagement. And you got to create the outcomes, like what is considered a win for us. What are our goals? What are our intentions? What do we want to make possible through our love? And like, that guy did not become a billionaire by being passive in his relationship, you know.
Yeah.
And like, both of them took the relationship seriously, and they understood that it literally impacts every single area of life. And so if you get that, I I imagine if people understood that, there would be a lot bigger emphasis on relational work and investing in the emotional and relational realms. If people really understood the impact on your body, on your health, on your finances, on your career, on your creativity, it literally impacts everything. And so to me, it makes complete sense to dive into this work and to really show up as powerfully as you can show up, so that you can magnetize into your life not only lovers and relationship partners, but also friends and community connections that support that level of growth and that game on that higher level plane. Like we talked last week about the beer league versus the big league, right? And so you got to find the big league players, and guaranteed everyone who comes to this event is a big league player. Hundo P.
Hundo. They don't attract limp dick energy.
Not after our first episode of this year, that's for sure. But
If you haven't
actually,
listened, go back and listen.
but probably ever since the beginning of the podcast, let's be honest.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's fine. I mean, that's the thing. We speak, you know, we always joke. Kelsey and I, we joke a lot. We have a lot of fun. We're playful on here. And we go very deep with you, and we're actually really intentional with what we teach. Like, we're not, we joke on here, we're this, but it's, I mean, come inside the event and you're going to get a taste of that. The work we do is very rich. It's very embodied. It's very, powerful. We get right to the root,
Yeah.
We joke on here. We're funny. We're making, cracking jokes and all that. And, there's a lot of mastery.
100%. We drop in and do our TED Talks, and then we're back
yeah.
to making jokes.
Totally. Totally.
This is literally like the perfect example of how we are. It's so great.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the women come into the coaching, they're like excited, and then they come into the coaching calls, and they're like, holy fuck, you guys are like on fire, because we just go so deep with them, right? Like, we don't, it's
Laser.
Like we just laser in and we go in. And that the cool thing about this event is on the third day, it is going to be, we're doing the coaching, we're going to be doing like hot seat, we're going to be diving in, so you can get a really good flavor about the way that we work. And there's a lot of fucking value. I mean, even just that's going to transform you, already. So yeah, it's just the beginning. So we're really excited. The link is in the bio to sign up. We'd love to see you.
Show
We've already
notes.
had some
Show
show notes. What did I say? Bio?
Bio.
Wow.
It's okay. Don't worry. This is why we're a team.
Team. Help coach. But yeah, we can't wait to see you. We're just super excited. We can't wait to just vibe with you and to make this your year where you are feeling super confident, you're feeling super spicy, you're feeling just vibrant and lit up. And I don't know, this just feels like a really big year of reinvention for a lot of people. I think this is the year where people are actually ready to like dive in and do the work, reinvent themselves, and to actually just, like you said, our theme of the club is seeing how fucking good it can get, because so much of history is around, mitigate, you're just trying to minimize pain and loss. And that makes a lot of sense based on just society and evolution and wars and people having, famine and like all these pieces. Like it wasn't like, let's go off and see how good it can get. Let's see how abundant we can get, which is what has flipped massively with, the era of the internet and, social media and all these pieces. And so there's just so much just change, but our systems need an upgrade. And that's actually where the real, that's where that really actually happens. It's not in mindset. It's not in knowing something cognitively. It's why you can again see a million posts, or I used to save a gazillion fucking posts and be like, oh my god, this is life changing, and then my life would never change. I'm like, I thought, what do you
Look
mean?
at it again.
Well, and that's the thing is an aha is never going to change what you attract.
No.
It can give you a little bit of okay, well, I'm a bit of consciousness around it, but until you actually change the body, we can get into this more, but there's 80% more information going from the body to the brain than the brain to the body. So if we understand something from a cognitive perspective, it's fine, it's great, but it's not really going to move the needle forward. We want to actually work with the somatics, your system, so that we can upgrade it. And so you're like choosing epic things on default rather than by having to effort and try to do a lot of, 8,000 affirmations and writing in your journal is the same fucking sentence 8,000 times. I mean, listen, I'm joking because I've done these things, and it fucking, like, no amount of fucking gene keys and human design and all these pieces is going to upgrade your system, chanting and affirmations.
No.
It's like, this is the real thing that's going to move it forward, is going into the deep work and reprogramming at a cellular level, which is what we do, luckily enough,
100%.
for you.
And like, take action consistent with that upgrade.
Yeah.
Because it is the deeper nervous system work and like the getting to the roots. But again, like, if that's where you stop, it's not going to change your life either. You have to start taking consistent, congruent action with your expanded self, and not who you've known yourself to be in the past, but like this new expanded version of you, which is the part of you that will lean in, the part of you that will take risks, the part of you that trusts yourself and in the present, but also trust future you to be able to handle the circumstances of whatever comes your way. Like, I think that's why people stay so stuck in fear, is because they actually don't trust their future self, because they're projecting their past self onto their future self. So they're just seeing future them as like a complete recycling of everything that they've ever done before, and what they've done before has gotten them hurt and hasn't produced the results that they want. So of course they don't see like another pathway through, which is why you got to get in, you got to clear out that emotional debris as well. So it's the nervous system, but you got to also clear out the emotional debris that is interfering with your sight, like your vision and your ability to access possibility. And once you've cleaned that out, and it's like most people are emotionally constipated, and you got to do a fucking emotional colonic and get that out of there, so that
deep clean,
so that the system and the energy is moving smoothly. And that's what frees you up to take consistent, congruent action with the vision you hold for yourself in your life. And that is what is going to truly transform who you are, who you know yourself to be, and produce the results that are even more extraordinary than what your conscious mind can even imagine. Like, that's what we're here for. That's what we're standing for. That's what we're going to coach you and guide you through that process, so that when you get to the end of your life and you look back and you're like, fuck, I was a bad bitch. Like, I did some cool ass shit, and I'm so proud of the person that I chose to become in this lifetime. There were things that happened in my life that were hard, that were beyond my control or beyond my choosing, and I'm so proud of the way that I alchemized all of that. I didn't step over it. I didn't minimize it. I didn't pretend it wasn't there. I met it full on. I slayed my fucking demons. And because of that, like, I have this beautiful life to look back on, and I'm so grateful for it all. Like, that's really what we want for you. Like, we don't want you living on wasted time and getting to the end of your life with a fuck ton of regret and being like, God, that was terrible. That was boring. That was dull. Like, I wish I'd done it different. There's no time like now to move the needle and like change the course of where you're headed. So, if you haven't already signed up for the event,
the fuck are you doing?
Get on it now. Send it to your friends. Like, don't be stingy. Like, again, like, a rising tide raises all ships. So, like, if you do this work with your friends, like, again, it's going to help catapult all of you and like speed up that momentum. And so send it to your friends, get them to sign up, come have a party with us February 6th to 8th. The calls are at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. There is a recording and a replay. So again, no excuses. It's free. Get your butt there. And we can't wait to see you and meet you next week. And rant.
Well, people are like, I want more abundance. But then they're like, don't share anything. I'm like, that's not the vibe.
Sorry to say, you just acted in a way that was completely incongruent with your intention.
Totally. Hashtag like. Oh, we can't wait to see you. It's going to be
Yes.
so fun. So fun. So yeah, just share it if you know anyone who you feel like could really use this. And share the podcast, share the events. Like, we are so passionate about getting this work out to people. And I think that's the thing is Kelsey and I have literally gone the long road. I mean, between the two of us, we have over 2+ decades. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars working with the top mentors, the top coaches, the top just people, our retreats. I mean, fuck, you name it, neuroscientists, fucking we've gathered
Look at all
so
those
much
books
information
behind me. Actually,
oh
you
my
can't
God.
see them, but I have a library in my house.
Just, oh my God. And just walking ourselves through our dark nights of the souls over and over and over again. Like, there's so many times I've been in the thick of things and I'm like, I can't wait till I can share this with people and my revelations and what I've been through and how I can help other people who are walking this path to know they're not alone. They make perfect sense. Everything's going to be okay. That's one of the most beautiful things, like the ease, even when the women come to the club and they're like, this is what's going on. And when you asked the other day, you're like, how can we support you? And she's like, I just want to know that I'm not alone. And you and I are sharing our personal stories about, just all these pieces. And I just think it's, that is so healing in itself. And it's just, we don't realize how much of a ripple effect we have. Oftentimes we think we don't matter. Yeah. We don't have a lot of influence. And it's like, you do have influence. You have influence if you don't show up to the room. Mm-hmm. You have influence if you do show up to the room. You have influence if you show up one day and then leave the rest of the days. We matter. And the way we show up matters, and the way we show up sends a ripple out to the universe, and we get back a matching frequency. So if you want to upgrade, go all in and come join us. And just what would it be like if you showed up differently and went all into something, right? And think of the outcome that's going to happen. That it happens fast. It's a quick transition. You start to get instant feedback. It's really cool. Yeah. So, anyways. Can't wait to see you.
Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to meet you. And let's wrap it there. We'll have one more podcast before the event starts next week. So we'll do a little just the tip for you next week.
How to get your boyfriend out of the playpen. Yeah.
How to get him off suckling the mommy teat.
Jesus. Holy fuck.
So stay tuned.
Okay.
We love you. Bye. All in all, we want to say thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. And if you liked today, give us a 5-star rating. And we'll see you next week.
And share it. If you know somebody who needs this in their life, share this shit. Abundance goes round and round. We love you.
We love you. Bye.